Let me wait for a couple of people to join the live. Let me wait for a couple of you to join. Some of you are joining and leaving, joining and leaving. Or maybe I'm just gonna continue talking so that they can catch up with us as we continue the conversation. Welcome to the video, guys. Welcome to the channel. Welcome, 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 welcome. As you continue, please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. We are going to have a conversation today. We are going to react. Welcome to Ruby to the Empress Reacts. I said I wanted to tell you. That is a lot of noise. Diane, too much noise, okay? So we are going to talk. We are gonna talk. Even before I proceed, I am today. I'm not going to read to you guys from Mwango. I mean, sorry, I'm not going to play Mwango's video on my channel. I have endured listening to Mwango talk in her latest live, and I'm not going to let you endure that as well. I'm just gonna give you guys a recap of what happened in that live. So we are definitely going to keep it locked here on YouTube as we react to the shenanigans going on here on the social media. I'm glad to having been, like, for example, I'm going to be giving you guys my point of view or even my opinion. If some of you care to listen to my opinion based on this Mwango situationship, the Polish deception that is going on right now, if you guys care to listen, sit down, grab a popcorn, grab tea, because it's getting hot on the YouTube fields. It's getting really hot. So, as you guys know, for those of you who doesn't know me, my name is the Nilotic Empress. Some of you guys know me as Empress Ruby. I have traveled in more than 150 countries. I have passport. That is silly. I feel so silly talking. But anyway, guys, I don't wanna mock Mwango. I believe that Mwango actually watches reactors videos, because I have seen the way she talks and the way she's addressing people. Nowadays, she's answering everything that reactors, or even trying so much to air issues, or even the things that have been raised to her. So it seems that she's been actually watching reactors. So, as you guys know, for those of you who might ask, who is Mwango? So Mwango is a Kenyan social media influencer. She's a YouTuber, and she's basically a YouTuber who travels, and most of the time she chases after Mwazungus. She usually travels all over the world, making content and also trying to find a spouse. She dates online. She goes on the internet trying to find spouses, which is something that clearly most of us have ever done. But she always is not very transparent here. She lies a lot. She actually lies for a living, and she has managed to manipulate majority of her viewers to actually think that she is this sweet, sweet, sweet person who is so super 100% honest. And a lot of people, a lot of her subscribers are very much air-aided, and they are always getting fooled, and they cannot read between the lines. That is the reason why Dee Mwango has really successfully made a YouTube channel where she travels running around after men looking for greener pastures, as she calls Africa shithole country. She always complains about Africa, the systems. She's complaining about the immigration systems, the passport, African passport being weak, and it's always deterring her from global trotting. And she's always complaining about everything regarding Africa. And she comes from this village in Korea called Nyabohanze. And in this village, actually, Dee Mwango was, now this is the introduction part. I am introducing you guys to Dee Mwango. Dee Mwango is is always saying that she is 20 something years old, but she is clearly in her late 30s or even in her early 40s. I said what I said. And she says, she always lies to people that she has graduated university and she graduated with a teaching diploma degree or whatever, but she dropped out of school clearly because the way she holds conversations and the way she is air-aided and lack of intelligence can actually tell you that she actually dropped out of university. She can't be bothered to read, or she can't be bothered to research things. She usually opens her mouth like just she just talks. She talks, and sometimes, most of the time, if she talks, you might think that she's a very intelligent person, but she is not. So she have a history of trying to find husbands here on social media. She's really tried, but again, then again, as the biological clock is ticking for Dee Mwango, she's trying to find a husband. And these husbands, these people that she usually finds, are people with stronger passports. And these people are she usually finds them online, and she pays them to actually play perfect couple here on YouTube channel. And it always backfires on her because this man afterwards comes on social media and exposes her for having paid them to make interracial or even to act as husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend. So, and also in Nyabuhanze village, Dee Mwango, her family is coming from this somewhat well-off place because she came from this disadvantaged background. But after some time, they discovered, the brother called Aya Marwa discovered YouTube and started making YouTube and started having a lot of scandals as well, chasing after white people who are not of her kind. They are always chasing after other colored skin people because, as it is, it usually they usually think that it's going to give her high status quo, or even put them on a higher pedestal, or make them look a little bit polished or even well. And people they feel like people respect them and respect them because they are always, also they like being in the presence of white people, European people. And also the brother, that is the longest introduction that I have ever done on YouTube. And also the brother chases after white women. The brother is into his either early 40s or mid 40s, but is always chasing after white women, trying to find wives. But then again, it always backfires for him because he's a very stingy person. He doesn't know how to take care of women. They have made YouTube like a cult. So they have gotten people to trust them, and they've also gotten people to donate to them. They have swindled money from Europeans, from people who are gullible enough, Americans who have become their main donors. So nowadays, this Ayamarwa have these charity organizations whereby he wants people to they donate. Then they start these big projects where they build multi-million houses in the Nyabohanze Kuria village, where they make these houses substandardized, and the houses are usually not very properly vetted. And so when these white people see, or when they walk global trot, they tell people that this calls herself Empress, while the Marwa calls himself king, and people usually say Nyabuhanze, king of the swamp, or whatever. So usually this Ayamarwa is usually playing rich. He wants to fool a lot of diasporans to come to diaspora, buy land, and live a rich and lavish lifestyle, whereby they can grow crops and they can build massive 20 plus bedroom houses. They say that they do it very cheaply. So, and now they have managed to get some people to try and invest in Africa, in Kenya. And as it is, shit will hit the roof very soon, because these people are clearly scammers, including the lady Di Mwango, because there was a clearly a certain court case that was going on, whereby he swindled money from a certain person who was doing Airbnb things like this, like hosting guests, and something like that happened, that he failed to pay this guy money, and then the guy sued her, and she was summoned by the courts, and I don't know exactly where the issue went. And so Di Mwango, Ayamarwa started YouTube, and now is almost going to 500,000 going plus, and Aya Marwa managed to find a lady from Argentina, whom this lady was also chasing the good life and thinking that he was going to be given everything on a silver platter in Nyabohanze village. She chased after the villa, chased after the luxuria life, whereby there is a Mercedes Benz that is parked on the porch of the villa, and all these things. And so Ayamarwa introduced the sister to the scam of the YouTube, because they say that YouTube is a very much place to become millionaire very quickly, and you can have sponsors, you can have people who will actually sponsor your lifestyle, sponsor your traveling, sponsor everything. So all you have to do is to open your mouth and speak bullshit, or even mouth diarrhea. And then these people will fully trust you with their chest. And then they will follow you, they will watch you, they will sponsor you, they will do all these things in the name of content creation. Yes. So after that, Di Mwango dropped out of this school of education or whatnot. She was studying to become a teacher, and now she is fully a content creator. She is making very good money. She is a millionaire here, multi-millionaire as a matter of fact. And then she actually also, the mother also joined the YouTube streets and is also acting crazy. And also the brother joined YouTube. The brother is kind of sexually fluid, and always also lying to people, and this and now Aya Marwa has given us drama of the year, because he found an Argentina woman whom he managed to bed and get pregnant, and he have a child for the first time. This child is called Mitoto, and Mitoto looks so much like Di Mwango. So Mitoto and the mother, they were not being treated as they had expected in the Nyabohanze village, because they found out that Aya Marwa is a very stingy person who does not really care for this type of lifestyle of family, marriage, whatnot, and weddings and whatnot, and paying bride price and whatnot. So he found out, the lady found out that when the deal was too good, think twice. She found out late after she has given birth to a child. But then she had murifade. Now she has murifade. She went back with the child. To cut the long story short, this is the introduction. My name is Empress, and welcome to Empress Reacts. So today we are going to talk about Mwango. Okay, as the title suggests. So this time around, Mwango has managed to pay to go online and find another man to act as her husband. So before she found this guy, she was pretty much running around like headless chicken trying to find a husband. Very much so, biological clock is ticking, desperation has kicked in, just like any other woman. She was hoping, but has she always have interior motive with these white people? So she never ever may do her due diligence. She doesn't do her research. She doesn't read up. She doesn't do nothing. So she eventually found a guy who equally was looking for a sugar mommy on the internet. Then they found each other. The guy is clearly doesn't have a job, and the guy is unemployed because he's clearly a mama's boy, a very young boy, is not yet mature. I'm saying he is quite intelligent because every time he speaks, he is a man of few words whenever he is around Mwango, because usually they have nothing in common. Mwango cannot even hold conversation. So most of the time you find that the guy is just very bored and not really excited to have a conversation with her. And this has been shown here on social media by his body language, his lack of interest, him always yawning, him always giving himself excuses as to why he doesn't want to face the camera. But Mwango is forcing issues and has forced issues to an extent. They have actually went to Poland and supposedly got married. So this lady did not do her due diligence to find out exactly what she was getting herself into, especially before she went to Poland. So she have interior motive, as I said earlier. She always wants to sort of get something from a man. This time, she could even pay to get a stronger passport. So that is exactly what she has done with this Polish person. She has really tried, but again, she didn't do her due diligence because she thought that she was going to get the passport as quick as possible, as quick as 3 months. So she tried to get Polish. Okay, at first, people were asking her how she met this man. But then again, she's not very proud with the fact that she met this guy online. So she was beating about the bush and refusing to answer that question. A lot of people have aired concern, and a lot of people have seen this relationship as it is going the direction of the Danish. You remember the Oyanka? I don't know what's the name of that girl, the Nigerian girl who was deceived by the Danish guy. So this one is going. The story seems to be going that direction. So they, where was I? Where was I? I'm losing my train of thought because I'm trying to look at what you guys are saying. That is something that I should not be doing when I'm making a video. So the guy clearly is not interested. at all by the body language and everything. And the reason why is because the lady clearly had interior motives, and maybe the guy had realized when it is too late that the deal was too good and maybe he's gonna mess up in long term because he's not cut out for this woman because they have nothing totally in common. So the guy is sort of having this regretful look in his eyes every time they are together. And the lady has really rushed into things because she thought that it was going to be easy for her to get the Polish passport. And she runs on social media and rants about this nonstop. She just very clearly very stupid, because even if you have interior motive as to why you're doing something, you cannot come on social media and spew it and let people know. So she has always wanted to mimic the social, the interracial relationship type of a relationship channel here. And maybe she's trying to like be the it couple here on social media, because I remember when she was making videos with a Filipino guy, her videos were clearly going viral. So her views were stalling and going a little down, and every time her views goes down, she always have an idea, and the idea is always find a man, pay even if you have to pay, do contents together with this man so that her views can skyrocket. So this time she's been giving us scandals after scandals, and we've always been reacting to it. Actually, I caught it late. I started reacting just a couple of this month. I started reacting, but she's been giving people there are a lot of videos that I had watched in the past that I didn't really pay attention to. But now I'm clearly now into these reactions. I want to react to her videos. So she made sure to let the guy know that she actually let him know prematurely, because if I were her, I couldn't tell him. Like, for example, if let's say if you are an older woman, for example, and you really wanted to have a baby and you are not getting the husband as soon as you wanted, but then you really want to have a baby, even if you have a baby single while you're single, you might get someone and trick them to having a baby with them, right? But you don't have to tell that guy that you are tricking them to have a baby with them, right? Until you have a baby and then you run away and then you block this guy. If you find that clearly they're not the right people for you, or maybe, or even you can, a lot of women trick men whom they are just having flings with to have babies with. They just stop taking their birth control and then they just have babies, right? So you cannot tell a guy that this is my plan. But clearly with Mwango's case, she tells prematurely her plans. When she gets into relationships, one thing that she always does is lie to her subscribers. She is usually not very honest. But then as times goes, her subscribers or the people who view her, they come to realize what is happening with her. So in this case, she said that she was okay. Clearly, it is very clear as day that she tried to get Polish passport here in Kenya, Polish travel visa here in Kenya, but she failed to get it. So instead, she got a passport to get into another EU country. I saw her making video in which country? Which country was this? She entered Poland through another country because her intentions were to kind of go and get married to this Polish guy. But she clearly did it the wrong way, Because if I were her, or any other women who are married to foreigners, they usually do the wedding first here in Kenya. As a matter of fact, she thinks that things are so slow here in Kenya. Here in Kenya, they are enemies of progress. They don't want anybody to progress, blah, blah, blah. So she rushes to do things outside Kenya. But here in Kenya, it could have, if it was something genuine and she really wanted things to go smoothly, she could have started by doing paperwork here, having the guy come over, doing paperwork here, and then getting married here. Then, after getting married, that is the only time this guy can go back and start processing travel visas for her to head to Poland. This is the correct way how these things are usually done. But she has not even done her research properly. She did them the other way around. So she was so much in a hurry because she wants to travel the world and she's looking, and as she says, her Kenyan passport is usually like deterring her from getting visas easily. So she wants a passport that is not Kenyan passport. So that is exactly because she has told us here. She says clearly on the videos that she is suffering in Poland, and after suffering in Poland, she will be entitled to a Polish passport. So she had thought that she was gonna get the Polish passport within 3 months of being of being married, having been married. But she got a shock of her lifetime when she found out that it's going to take a little bit longer for her to even achieve that passport. So, or even achieve any documents to be legally staying in Poland. So she thought that it was going to be within 3 months. It's clear that she did not do her research properly. Because when she is coming on social media and talking the way she does, a lot of people are watching her. Some are even in Poland that might not like this kind of scamish way of planning marriage. They might even report her to the Polish officials. So, as it is, she went in via perhaps a Schengen visa, and she went into Poland via different point of entry. She went in via another country. And then by the time she was getting married, it seems like because she has been staying there for 3 months. And if I am not wrong, I think that to get a Schengen visa usually lasts 90 days. That is 3 months. She might she might have overstayed her visit. Meanwhile, she's not telling people about this. She's making up stories. Every time she comes online, she talks and make up stories. So initially she was saying that she's gonna stay in Poland for as long as. As a matter of fact, she's going to forget about her projects and forget about everything else and just focus on her family, on her marriage. And now she's now going to be Polish citizen. She's going to be in Poland for a long time. She has to focus on Poland. She has to focus on the countryside. She has to try and find something to do in Poland, like rearing chicken, and she's getting used. She has to get used because that is her new life. Everything has changed, blah blah. And she's just running her mouth, and she's just saying, "I can't wait until I get the passport, I get the papers to travel," because as it is, he's according to her, she's stuck in Poland for now because she has to follow immigration rules. to stay in Poland for some time. Then today she came with another video, and she was saying that she wants to go back to Kenya because she has to change. It is a legal requirement to, to take her husband's name. So she has to change her. She was not sure. Like her husband asked her if she wanted to take his name. Then she said, sure, why not? And then she was like, there was a time in her video that she was saying, women, that is what they're supposed to be, that if you are married, you're supposed to take your husband's name because it's very important and blah, 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 and all this. And I'm like, that's bullshit. Nobody does that in 2026. I mean, if you want to, you can, but it's not really necessary for you to get it. I mean, you don't have to change your name whatsoever. So she said that it's, at first she was saying that it's Polish rule that you have to take your husband's name. And so today she said that is the reason why she has to go back to Kenya. She's planning to travel back to Kenya so that the reason why she's traveling is so that she can change the name on her passport. Change the name and put her husband's name, like add her husband's name in her name. So, and then she was saying that it's gonna take too long. She doesn't know, even if she goes, she doesn't know exactly when she's gonna come back because it's gonna take too long and blah blah. And as it seems, I feel like she thought that she was gonna get the Polish visa for Polish passport so fast. Until now, she realized that she cannot get it so fast. Now the narration and the story has changed. That she has to leave so that she has to change. You don't have to. Even in Poland, you don't have to. You don't have to take your husband's name and do documentation. And even if you want to, you can just go to the consulate. Each and every country have embassies and consulates where you can actually just do it there. You just find an immigration lawyer and then you can just do it there. You don't have to travel here. So it's clear that she is not being honest. She's not just being honest and telling people, because what I understand is that her visa, the visa that she entered into the country with has expired, and now she is required to exit, to come back. And by exiting, she has to exit, and therefore then her husband is going to apply for her and make sure that they apply afresh from Kenya, and now she's going to get in via spousal visa. But then also the husband has to give the government proof that he actually has streams of income where he can take care of a foreign wife. And also the fact that she doesn't have a proper Polish working document visa. If you are working, like for example, YouTube is work, and she's working there, and she's doing YouTube without proper documentation, also that can put her in trouble. Because then again, she's not paying taxes there as she is also working there because she's doing YouTube full time. So maybe it might put her in trouble. But the reason why she's going back is not very clear. But we clearly know that it's because she found out that it's not going to be easy for her to get the passport quickly. So, and then now she's stuck in Poland, and she's somebody who cannot stay in one place for a long time. So she feels like if I am going to be stuck here and still my immigration papers are not okay, like I'm illegally in Poland, I might as well just exit and then see what's next. Meanwhile, after she exits, maybe she can continue doing her traveling vlogs, or maybe she can even bring the guy to Kenya so that the guy can live with her in Kenya. I think if they really truly love each other, and maybe most of us reactors are wrong, and we are just reading too much into the things that she talks about here on social media. If it is really genuine that she actually married out of love, and it's something that has nothing, she just talks about passport and whatnot just for the sake of it, because at the end of the day, eventually she if she marries genuinely, then eventually she's gonna get proper documents, not necessarily nationality or whatnot, but people have maybe we are just reading too much into it, maybe we are just over judging her, maybe we are just over analyzing her. But if for sure she's married to this guy genuinely, and it's not the games that she's been playing with other men here on social media, then she can clearly just bring this guy, come to Kenya, and then the guy can stay with her in Kenya. And then afterwards, then they can figure out, after all her papers are done and all her travel documents are in order, then she can travel and be okay in Poland, and just live in Poland normally without having to fear, oh, the immigration people might do this, they might do this to me. Yeah. So I think, so then I'm gonna read from you in a bit. Who's this Henry? What do you mean by Chuki? We are just analyzing based on the kind of content or the kind of things she talks about on social media. There is nobody who hates her. So I'm going to read from you guys. There was a forum that people were discussing exactly what I'm talking about. And people were saying, there's one person who has said, okay, Dee thought that she'd get the Polish passport first, but Poland doesn't actually hand them out that quickly. Even if she married now, she had to wait at least 5 years of living in Poland before she can even apply for the passport. First, she gets a temporary card, then a permanent one, then finally the citizenship application. Also, the big hurdle is the B1 Polish language exams. This one about the Polish language exams, somebody asked her if she's going to take the Polish language, and then she said she doesn't want to. She said she don't feel the need to take it. She can just hear people talk, and then she can catch the language. So then again, she's not serious about getting the citizenship because you need to know the language fully 100%. So also the big hurdle is the B1 Polish language exam. She have to pass a massive state test in Polish grammar and writing to get the passport. It usually takes people a couple of years of solid study just to pass it. About the name change, she needs to be careful traveling back to Kenya to change IDs right now. If she gets a new Kenyan passport in her husband's name before her police resident card arrives, her old visa won't match her new ID, and she might have nightmares trying to get back into Poland. Most people wait until they have the plastic residence card in hand first. The fake marriage test, Polish border guards often do surprise visit and separate interview to see how well they know each other in the marriage. If the marriage is abrupt, which it was, they will investigate deeply. She will regret all this yapping about passport strength on YouTube. So a lot of you guys, you don't even correct her when she's yapping and when she's saying all the things that she's saying. You don't really care about her, so you don't really correct her. When a spouse is applying for a permanent residency for their foreign spouses, they must pay a bond. of the immigrant born to the immigration office. If the if uh, it is possible that Polish immigration told D that she needs to leave Poland because her visa is a Spain visa. Yeah, she went through Spain into Poland. But I think if it is a Schengen visa, did she get via? If she got a Schengen visa, then she can freely travel Europe, is it? Or she just got a Spain visa and then she sneaked into Poland with it. That could also be the case. Petro has to apply for her to get her residency. She has to submit a lot of documents, including a job letter to prove that she can provide for his foreign spouse. Uh-huh. Someone else is saying that it will take a year plus. She should go to Kenya and change all the papers and apply for residence permit. Why should she go through all these hurdles? She doesn't have to. I mean, to change her name. I mean, why? Like, so it means that she's going to get a new birth certificate, which you can't obtain easily. A new birth certificate will have name change. You have to have a new ID. You have to have a new passport. You have to get a lawyer, and you have to get an affidavit from the lawyer. It's gonna be a hurdle. And then when she comes back here again, I don't know. It's just gonna be a hurdle for her. I don't think it's really necessary to get. She should just come back to Kenya and then apply for a proper visa to get into. Anyway, that's for her. So, Polish immigration have been watching her videos and now they are sending her back. So, someone is assuming this. I don't know about that. But she should actually be careful with the things that she's talking about on her social media because a lot of people are watching. And also, it could make her husband change his mind. Because then again, he will think that she just married because she has interior motive. And most men, these European people, they don't like that. And also, they don't like people who lie. Every time she opens her mouth, she lies a lot. She lies and lies and lies and lies and lies and lies, while the husband can actually listen to her lie. So if you lie like that, if you're a chronic liar, then nobody is gonna believe you. Let me continue reading. Hello guys, continue liking the video. I've seen 22 of you guys have liked. Continue liking the video. So we are gonna read. I'm gonna read from somebody else. There was a forum that was actually it was on a podcast, and it was this particular thing was being discussed, and a lot of people had something to say. So that is exactly what I'm reading from the podcast forum. So someone is saying, in the first place, how did she get married while on a visitor's Schengen visa? I don't know if it was Schengen or it was Spain visa. I don't know. According to her, the visa had expired by the time of the civil wedding, which means she has nothing to support her stay in Poland. She is there illegally. Also, her entry into Poland via Spain is questionable. Not to mention that strangely missed flight. If she gets caught, she will be deported immediately, and Pedro will also get in trouble. Poland must comply with EU rules. Someone else is saying maybe Petro is discouraging her to stay there since she will not be able to travel if she is there. Because a Kenyan woman who marries a Polish man can do the name change paperwork while in Poland through the Kenyan Embassy High Commission. The marriage must be registered with the Kenyan authorities, and the name can then be updated on the Kenyan passport and ID using the marriage certificate, translated and certified if needed. Someone else is saying D has been deported after 2 weeks of marriage. Someone reported her to Polish immigration. I think that is just an assumption. They don't know for sure that that is what happened. Okay, someone is saying, D, please. It's not only in Poland, they ask if you are going to take your spouse name. It happens everywhere. The reason they ask is because some people prefer not to change the surname. Or you can both surnames yours. You can both surnames yours and your spouse. I think she meant you can both change your surnames, yours and your spouse. That is, I think, what she means. D thinks she is talking to imbeciles, people who have married, talking to imbeciles, people who have married for years. Stop embarrassing yourself. After marriage, she said Poland is the best. They don't ask a lot of things. She was bragging, she should just tell the truth that this wedding has been nullified by immigration. I mean, Dee got engaged, according to her, on the 31st, and within a week, they were married. Where have that is? We have you been ever seen? Where have you ever seen that happening? The maybe though Polish immig through though Polish immigration could be bribed, thought. D maybe thought Polish immigration could be bribed like that her family does, buying driver's license, changing their ages in Europe. It's not easy. That person had a lot to say. That person had a lot of harsh things to say. Someone else is saying things fell apart and now she's running away. She does not need to to leave Poland to make any chances to her passport or other official document, and she's not being truthful. Some people are saying that the marriage has been annulled, which I cannot comment on because I don't know. Once you get married to a foreigner, you stay in the country and do all documentation. This is good for her loyal viewers. You know she is lying the way she is moving her head and eyes. Now this is her last life. This is where people are now talking. So someone is saying it's Polish deception, Onyenka the second. Someone is saying is is change of name really necessary? I'm Kenyan married to an American. I have I I have never changed my name to his. He must go to immigration. No, I think that's noise. I'm working. Pole pole. Just I have I have I have indeed never changed my name to his. We you why some people they write this type of English? When you go, he said we you go. I think she means when you go to immigration interview, they will give options to add his or his name to add his name. I still have my name and I am a citizen through marriage. It takes 5 to 7 years for citizenship. Somebody is saying this is a scam marriage. She is a fool to play with immigration. Also, her witnesses in that marriage should be questioned. Somebody is saying Poland chased her out. She is too chat. Somebody say is she someone saying she complicated her stay because she chats too much and she is not humble. It's extremely cold where I am. We are expecting 30 centimeters snow. Someone is asking, does Dee think that those marriages conducted between African women and their white spouses in Africa are a waste of time? There is a reason for that. Dee got married in Poland with a Schengen Spanish visit visa. Married or not, she must leave before that visa expired or she will be deported with penalties. The right and normal process would have been to have the marriage done in Kenya for authenticity and proper immigration documentations, i.e., name change, etc. Piero and family have deceived and used her for their immediate gain. Someone is saying it's over. I don't know. I can't say it's over until Dee herself tell us it's over. I'm watching. People have already made their assumption based on yesterday's live that she made. Hey, that mosquito is so confidently just coming here to eat me. I cannot say for sure that this is the case, that it's over. I don't know, man. I cannot conclude that it's over between her and that Peru guy. D has to establish tax residency that makes her reliable to pay taxes on worldwide income. She has to apply for a temporary residence card first, then live in Poland continuous as permanent resident for 2 years and be married to a citizen for at least 3 years. Additionally, she has to know the language at the B1 level. She's now misleading the people with this narrative of returning to Kenya to change her name. She is a liar. I'm reading. These are not my words. Do not crucify me. These are not my words. Someone else is saying she doesn't need to travel to Kenya to change her name. First of all, she has to register her marriage with Kenyan High Commission in Poland. Then from there, she can get all the services in terms of Kenya documents. I get everything I need, visas, this. I don't know what does she mean by this. Our Kenyan High Commission in London I have never traveled to Kenya to get documents, my passport, identity card, Huduma card, generally everything. I don't know what she is yapping about. She is very ignorant. I read it. Someone else is saying, Dee said that the villa is progressing very well, yet the villa has stalled. We saw this in the video. Did you guys watch Congrats Mom's video? Yeah, maybe. I need to watch Congrats Mom video to find out if this has told as this person is saying. Someone is saying she can have her married name change in Kenya by producing her marriage certificate to Kenyan embassy in Poland. No problem. So it's clear that the reason why she has to exit and come and do all these things in Poland is because her documentation, like for example, her visa status is perhaps not okay. So that is why she has to back. When she comes back to Kenya, they might lock her out. They might lock her in Kenya. They might not allow her to go back in. Someone is saying, In my opinion, maybe Dee has been reported to immigration about her fake marriage, and the immigration is suspecting that she's up to Polish passport. The truth lies on her. Let us wait and see how it gets. But Dee has a big mouth. She could have kept quiet and do her things without bragging. I've noticed that Dee is trying to prove a point to people, maybe to these reactors, because you guys have said that her husband is a bum, doesn't work, doesn't just plays video games and is not responsible, and the house they are living in is not even theirs, like they are living in parents' house and blah blah blah. All of you guys have said all these things. Some people online. But I have seen Dee really trying to prove to you guys that what you guys are saying are not the truth. That she is married to a CEO man who is working with American company. She's working with American law farm law, and she's an IT expert in American farm law firm, and she's actually working at home. She's working online, and not she, he is working online, and he's paying everything. Dee does not use her money, even a single cent, in that marriage. She has already told you guys clearly that you guys need to get it, you peasants, that she's not even lifting a finger or a dime. In fact, the husband cooks, cleans, makes for her tea, makes goes for shopping, does the shopping, drives her around. She's getting princess treatment in Poland. Yet you guys are complaining, saying the guy, you are saying quite the opposite. So she made a video and she was telling you guys clearly that 100% she does not touch her money. Her money, the husband does everything for her. She just make everything clear for you guys. So she even if like the guy is the one who is funding her life in Poland. So according to her, you guys are lying on her. So you better know that. So everything that she's saying is allegedly the truth. And you guys are just lying and making up things. You are also lying about her dog, Matt. You're lying about her. You know the reactors? They say that you guys reactors are lying about the dog Matty. That Matt is living like a princess. So how are the reactors lying? Aren't we the ones who saw Matt tied under a dirty bench, so sad and depressed outside an abandoned place? Didn't we see that dog looking so sluggish and unkept and sick? Yet she's saying that dog is having princess treatment. I mean, my dogs are having much princess treatment than, if that is what princess treatment is, then that is a lie. This one I can vouch. I saw it on Congratman's video. The way that dog is tied by, and I'm sure that dog sleeps outside there. That is unfair for a little nice, cute puppy. Don't do that. That's not nice. Why? What is this with these people with animals? Why do you get animals if you do not like animals? You're not an animal person. She even said that the husband loves his dog so much. And in Africa, they don't care for animals like that. They like, they don't love. Like versus love. But for me, the way that dog is actually kept is not even liking. Because it is very animal cruelty. It's screaming animal cruelty when I saw that dog. Why can't Congrats mom go with that dog to her home? The home that was so cozy that was built to her. Why can't she go? That dog, you just wash it and then you, even if you have to, me for example, my dogs don't live inside. They are not indoor. They don't live with me here. But I have a small servant quarters outside that I wash and keep it for them. So they don't sleep like in a kennel, or I do not. Actually against dogs being locked the whole day in a kennel. I don't like that. So that does not scream luxury. I don't like that at all. So she can do better. So I was reading for you guys. I want to continue reading for you guys. So I feel like the narrative, the story, the narrative that she's been giving is kind of getting a little bit boring, and she kind of repeats herself again and again and again, to an extent now she doesn't know anything else to say. And now she's realized that she has actually lied to people, so now she's retracting. She's like backtracking her lies. So this time around, she's lying to us that she has to go make the name change. That is the reason why she might go to Kenya, and she's pretty much, she just realized that she have to change her passport and her passport is expiring and blah blah and all these things that she's saying. And then also she's saying that she doesn't know what is going to happen to her old passport, yet she has visas. All her visas are in her old passport. You travel a lot, you should know this kind of things. Like, wait. So usually when you're giving a new passport, they usually punch hole in the old passport. They punch hole, right? So if you have visa, I remember they punched holes in my old visas, in my old passport, and it had visas. But I still just attached these two passports and I was traveling with them. Every time they asked me for a visa, I just showed them the visa that is in my old passport. That's all. Because my old passport is still in the system, you know. It shows in the system that I used to have this and now I have this. So even my visa used to be in my old passport, even though they have punch holes in it. But I just presented it and it was just okay. Even when I went to the US, I presented my US visa in my old passport, yet I had a new passport. So it's very much possible. It's just that she doesn't know. So something um I think there was a time her herself said she can't travel for now because she has to follow the rules. Yeah. She said she has to follow the rules simply because she thought that she needs to stay in. My God. You know, being ignorant is such, you know, even me when I used to travel, or even when I was looking for Schengen visa, I was really doing Googling. I was Googling the whole night to find out about this Schengen visa and about what happens if you're married, you know. Even right now, I'm married to someone who is not Kenyan. He's clearly not a Kenyan. I went and I was, before we even filed for these things, I was really looking. We were really like reading. Basically, I'm the one who was reading because obviously him is not an English speaker. So I was reading online to make sure that everything is okay. How come she doesn't read up to find out if everything is okay for her? Why would why would she just assume that she's going to get a passport within 3 months of marriage? Why would she assume, even though she doesn't have correct visa, she still assumes that she's supposed to be staying in Poland until she gets the passport in 3 months' time? Who does that? That's weird. That's weird. I feel like Mwango needs to, even if she comes out of this Poland, I feel like she needs to stay by herself for quite some time and really, really, really redirect her thoughts. She needs to read a book or two and really, really get to know herself and make some changes, you know, because you cannot be this ignorant and think that it's okay. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. The only school, the only university I've ever stepped in is in flying academy when I was a flight studying to be like when I was studying to gain my wings. That is the only time I ever stepped a campus gate, even step in the campus. But she finished her O level and then she finished her university, but she's still so ignorant. I mean, what is this? I don't understand. She needs to do better, especially for somebody who has really traveled to 70 plus countries. Doesn't she know that there are some things that you need to? I thought that I'm the one who usually just spews nonsense. I just spew things. I just spew things. Me usually I talk. I tell you guys exactly everything. I told you guys, like somebody asked me, there was someone who asked me, why did I marry my husband and what does my husband bring on the table? And I told you guys, my husband does not earn good money and it's okay. I told you guys, I'm the table. I said, I'm the table in this marriage. He brings, he brings something small, I bring something and then we put it together and then, I mean, it's no big deal to me, like seriously. To me, it's just I settled for what I settled for. I mean, I just say that because it's normal to me. It's I know it might not be normal to some of you people, but to me, it's just my life, you know. And some of you are saying, "Oh, why do you even talk like that about your husband?" I'm like, he might even if my husband doesn't have a job, I wouldn't be afraid to say he doesn't have a job. Why wouldn't I? I mean, why would I be ashamed of my current life? This is my life. I don't have to live a life that fake life. So for her, it's like fake it until you make it. But at the end of the day, she forgets that she lies and then lies again. Then tries to correct that lie, only to again lie some more. It's weird. Because I think there's some narrative that she's trying to bring. She's trying to paint this perfect life that does not exist. It's okay to admit that sometimes, you know, even if you fail, it's okay to admit that I've failed, you know. It's okay to say, oh, it's okay to even ask questions. Hmm? Say, guys, I don't know this thing. You don't just continue talking, even you are wrong. You are confidently wrong, but you're still wrong, but you still keep talking. Come on. She clearly don't have to go back. She should tell her followers exactly the reason why she's going back. But it's not about that she has to change her passport, she has to change the name, she has to include her husband in. No, she's not being honest. Say the truth. And then the other day she was saying, I leave everything on hold. I'm not going to blah blah blah. And then I think she had us subscribers. I'm actually her subscribers. I watch her. I let even her ads play. I watch the Mwango because I want to just like figure out exactly what she's all about. So I usually watch her. So there was a time she said she left everything on hold. But then the last time I made a video here and I told you, like, you never do that as a woman. You never leave anything of yours on hold for a man. Usually you are the one who have everything to lose. Because after you open up to them and you let them in you and blah blah and they leave you with a baggage child and blah blah, you're the one who is destabilized at the end of the day. You come back to point zero with a baggage. Maybe they've left you with a child. So you always have to take care that to make sure that your things are going on. Even if you're married, no, your life is not supposed to be on hold. Keep your money going, keep things going, you don't have to have anything of hold in the name of marriage. Because you don't know 5 years along the line whether these people will find somebody better than you. Because there is a high probability, it happens all the time, that they find somebody who is more sweeter than you down the line. Then they just come back and they change and they tell you they want to divorce. Then what? You are destabilized because again you focused your mind on this thing so again, this is the reason why she heard us. We speak the way we speak, but sometimes she sneaks and comes and watches. Then now she comes back and says that at first she was saying, marriage is a beautiful thing. Like today, when I was watching the live, I felt like she was a little bit calm. She calmed down a little bit. Reality is actually kicking. Reality is hitting. And she was a bit calm and collected. She didn't feel the need to explain and explain, even though she said that her money, all her savings goes towards building her villa. But she said that she gets money, $1,000 here, $1,000 there. She buy this, she buy this, she buy that. So she usually makes sure. But at the moment, everything is on hold. If you watch Congrats Mom going to her villa, you just see it's just abandoned. It's just dust and some timber there, and there are no construction going on there right now. So she's put things on hold, the way she said. Just today, she come back and she said, things are going on. My money I'm using towards 100%, 95%. I'm using this money towards building my villa. Every woman's problem starts with a man. Menopause, menstrual, mental. So someone is also saying to her, you don't have to go back home to change your name. That's a lie. I've always told Dee to keep her business quiet. She talks too much. There are certain things you keep quiet, especially legal and personal things. She was in such a rush to get married that she did not really research the situation. A husband from a different race, mixed children, and a passport was the main concern. Everything has a price. Living with people who are from different family, culture, and race in a foreign country is not that easy. I had enough problems leaving the Caribbean and coming to Canada. Lots of adapting. The honeymoon has ended quickly. So, in this forum, we have almost 500 people. All of them are giving their 2 cents, are giving her an idea, are talking to her. So another one is saying this family, they only care about the house, dog, car, land, but not the children. At the abuse of villagers. Oh, some of them abuse villagers. Guys, I don't really watch I Am Marwa. I don't watch much of I Am Marwa. There are people who say that they abuse villagers. I should start watching him as well. I should start concentrating on I Am Marwa as well. I will give I know it's painful to watch these people, but I will try as much as possible to watch and analyze them and then come and react. Yes, 90 days. Because even me, when she was talking about staying forever in Poland, I was asking myself, wait a minute, which visa did you come to Poland with? Then, coming to think that she did not even come, she was denied the Polish visa and she went in through Spain. Then I was thinking, then, if she went in through Spain, how many months visa can that be? Can she be allowed to stay there? Then, if she knows very well that she doesn't have correct visa, then why does she keep yapping that she's going to stay there for a long time until she gets her passport? Ah, this lady, she needs to have a wake up call. So someone is saying, mhm, someone is saying what? Someone is saying they could just go for honeymoon to Kenya for some safaris experience. A win is a win. Yeah, if the guy can come to Kenya with her, and then help her process the visa. Yeah, that is when you you chat too much damn lie. It will catch up with you. She thought she could get the passport the same way she got driver's license in Kenya. She does not have to leave Poland to change her name. That's a lie. She thinks getting married she got her passport. Ah, Jesus. And I think she did because according to her, she thought she was gonna get it within 3 months. So if the guy really loves her and the guy wants the best for her and the guy wants to help her with all the documentation and stuff, why didn't the guy? Because the guy is a little bit more experienced. Then why did the guy lead her on to go with these papers that will give her problems afterwards? Maybe she was in a rush because she was thinking the passport was within 3 months. And the guy let her be because the deal was too good. Do people really sell out themselves for a passport just for YouTube? What's the end goal? Someone is asking. Dee should go to the Kenyan embassy in Poland to make the changes she needs. She should have made all her findings before getting into this mess. She don't have time for that because she's yapping, pumping videos out every single day. She's yapping. You should try to get a body language expert to watch her, and he will tell the world that she is lying through her mouth. 3 months is over. That's why she has to leave. She has to go back to our Kenya, this our shithole country that she doesn't like. She has to come back. Come back now. I swear, if I was deal with those millions I'm making on YouTube, I would build the nicest. Buy. I can even build a nicest house in a, or even buy a flat. I can do so many nice things with that, with the kind of money she says she's getting. Eh, I would be rich, and I would put men at bay. Men would be the least of my concern because when men come in, you even lose focus because you don't think anymore as a woman. I would put them at bay and I would focus. I would develop. I would do the until then. After that, there is when I can sit down and start flickering my toes and start thinking about a man. I would not be in a hurry the way she is. Now I'm saying as an older person who've been there where D is right now, I would not even hurry the way she's hurrying. It's not, like it is not what you guys think it is. People who are in marriages, they want to come out. People who are out of marriages, they want to go in. Life has no balance. And I think she's been mesmerized and she's been just like fixating about getting married, Until people who get fixated so much into getting married and they are just my man, my husband, my husband all the time. These people usually get ends up making the worst mistake of their life. When they wake up when it's too late. Because they don't think straight. They're just thinking of men. They are just male centered all the time. I don't know who bewitched us women. Why are we so male centered? Someone is saying she have to leave Poland. She can't had no passport for you. She she'll have to leave Poland. She can't hide no passport for you. Hmm? Oh, someone is saying she have to leave Poland. She'll have to leave Poland. She can't hide. Then someone she say no passport for you. Oh, and then they are laughing. Immigration fraud. That's what she committed. I mean, okay, if she went into Poland through Spain, what was that visa? If it was a Schengen visa, Schengen tourist visa with Spain as the port of entry, she can still get married in Poland. She didn't break any immigration laws. The only time maybe she overstayed her visa. So it's either if she overstayed, she got married when her visa was already overstayed. But how can that be possible? Then if that happened, then it means that the immigration people or even the people who allowed the papers, I mean, they submitted the paper and the papers were accepted. Then it means that the people who accepted the papers are the ones in the wrong. How is she wrong? Because according to me, if she had Schengen visa with the point of entry as Spain, she went into Poland through Spain. I don't think that's I don't think that's fraud. Hmm? I really don't. But if it was not Schengen visa, if it was just why would she? I think it was Schengen visa. D should not leave Poland yet because that will denounce her Poland paperwork in progress. She should have kept her name and it would have been easier. Anyway, Rush, this is what she gets. The more they have mistreated the village people, this karma is a big. Hmm? The more they have mistreated the village people, this is karma in a big making for D. Are they mistreating? I want to see which village people these people are saying that they are mistreating. Thank you. Oh, thinking about us. Oh, this granny here. Oh, someone is just talking to the other one. Mhm. Someone is saying that the damage has been done by the constant talking in her YouTube videos. It will be her undoing. Living a lie for views will not end well, especially when dealing with immigration. And D has left a roadmap of deception. The authorities in Poland might have contacted her. His family don't want to be seen with her now, and things have shifted. Dee have created her own prison and is hiding out. Time is running out. Okay, this is what people have observed. The people who watch her, they have observed this. For a Schengen visa, the point of entry should be your longest stay. I don't believe she stayed in Spain for more than 90 days before she went to Poland. That would be the point of her problem. Also, guys, I think, wait, so what I think is that she might have applied for a Polish visa and she was denied. Then she 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 applied a visa to go to Spain. Maybe she did not even apply specifically for the Schengen visa. Maybe she applied for I don't know. Point of entry. You're saying that the point of entry, like she should stay in the point of entry longer. I applied for Schengen visa once, and my point of entry was Germany. And I went with this one. I went also with it to Switzerland, and that's it. But I didn't stay. The only place I was staying in was Germany. I didn't stay in Switzerland much. I was just staying in the point of entry. I don't know. Guys, let's continue watching her videos to see what will unfold. A lot of people have something to say here about someone is saying what she's saying doesn't hold water. All the immigration. Oh, no, who is this? I don't like people talking to me like when I'm working. What she's saying doesn't hold water. All the immigration requires is the marriage certificate to prove the marriage. It doesn't require to change passport to married name to married name to get legalized in Poland. What I think happened is she ran out of her 90-day stay to legally start the process. In other words, she had to apply for the temporary residence before her visa expired. So she has to leave the country and apply at the Polish consulate in order to get a visa to come back as the spouse of the citizen of to continue the process. She knows she's lying because you can see her demeanor when speaking. Mm, okay. There someone commented. Someone is commenting like this. Someone answered is saying the documents she was sending in was most likely for the temporary residence permit. The reason for the quick marriage was because her visa was running out. Once she submitted the marriage certificate along with passport for temporary residence permit, wait. Once she submitted her marriage certificate along with passport for temporary resident permit before visa being expired, she will remain legal in Poland. What she's saying does not add up. Wait, someone is saying the document she was sending in was most likely for her temporary resident permit. The reason for the quick marriage was because her visa was running out. Once she submitted her marriage certificate along with passports for temporary residence permit before visa being expired, she will remain legal in Poland. What she's saying not add up. Okay. Someone is saying you don't have to change your name as a wife to be considered married. D is misleading people. She dare changes her Kenyan passport and ID name. She better be sure what she is doing. She cannot do it. She cannot do it. It's so it's such important. It will ruin everything for her. Why could congrats mom and David Jr. not take care of Matt? That's exactly what I was asking myself. She should learn from Mama Jimmy. They only spoke about it after everything had been finalized and they had already settled in the USA. I think D has this disease of of boasting and bragging and trying to shove things in people's faces and rub it on people's faces. This is her. She's trying to prove a point. This is her mistake, and this is going to be her downfall. Learn to keep some things to yourself. Mm. Someone is saying, my brother and I live in Australia for the past 14 years. It is like this. If you get married in Europe for as a foreigner, after the marriage, you must go back to your country of origin to apply for a new visa. I'm shocked D is still in Poland until now. Believe me, she's coming back home to apply for a new visa. Believe me, these white people have dealt with us. Sub, you come back home, immediately they will change their mind. I know a guy who got married to a white woman, went back home to apply for a visa, and, and never went back. The wife got the marriage destroyed. Hey JT, someone is saying about JT. I've been watching D for years and I noticed when she's lying, she closes her eyes. There are some people who have actually mastered her. Someone is saying, I have been watching D for years and noticed when she is lying, she closes her eyes halfway and she looks side to side and she doesn't look directly at the camera. Just watch the next time she posts or look at some of her past videos. These people really analyze. The people on the internet, they analyze you to the T. Someone is saying she's run away. Haha. She's always tired of the marriage. That is, she's already tired of the marriage. How do you know? I think it's a fake marriage and fake papers. Someone else saying that. Someone is saying she hasn't seen anything. She is just, this is just a beginning. Meanwhile, dude has collected his complete cash. Someone else is saying the fact that she even came through Spain already is illegality. Huh? How come Mr. CEO didn't invite her directly? She needs to love herself more and stop acting desperate. Huh? Yes. Where is the husband in all this? He was he was okay making the thumbnail, but left her out to dry in order to explain Polish immigration process. Look at her demeanor. She is so embarrassed. She hasn't seen anything yet. All that bragging might be short lived if she cannot go back to Poland once she arrives in Kenya. Hey, hey, people. D, wow. You thought that you would get that passport quick and fast. Huh? It's not worth it to bring Matt over at all. Better to find a loving home in Kenya. The part we should wait to see is if Petro will continue to file those papers after she leaves. Dee doesn't have to leave Poland to change the documents. As a matter of fact, she cannot leave before 2 years. Who is advising that woman? What if she doesn't have the correct visa? Let's start from there. What if the visa is incorrect or the visa is expired? D, the way D is ignorant, I'm sure she might have just let the visa expired. Maybe she just found out that they've expired. But D at Kenya, we didn't see her feeding chicken, either cooking at all. She doesn't even like the family dog coming closer to her. Eh? Really? Poland law enforcement knows about this. She have been reported and the government is aware of her. Her D. The government is aware of her. D doesn't realize YouTube is a big receipt and she may even go to jail. Ah, how come? Why jail? Guys, I'm going to read. Someone is saying, what are you guys saying? Karma is catching up with her. D can't sit still. She will come back to Nyambo. Nyambo then travel without husband. It costs a lot of money to travel. I'm sure she's gonna come back to Nyabohanze and then find another country to go very quickly. She has to run away from reality. She doesn't like to stay still. She can't stay in one place. Have you ever known someone that refuses to read instructions to how to assemble a product? Then they get angry when they realize the item looked odd. This is a person that didn't read the manual, didn't bother to do her research, didn't bother to take interest in other rules and regulations and restrictions of anything else. Thinking that she's important, thinking I'm special, they will honor me because what? Make that make sense. Okay. She will need to change the marriage certificate too because everything have to be same. Huh? Yeah. Yep. Because now if she changes the name, she changes everything. She changes everything. Everything. Even the marriage certificate has to be changed. Why do you complicate things? Just leave it the way it is. Everybody knows you're married. Like me, I cannot change from my father's name to my husband's name. My husband did not give birth to me, but my father gave birth to me. I can't do such a thing. I came from my daddy's groins. I did not come from my husband's groins. So I am changing my name to Nobody. I am my father's daughter forever. I am Owino. Uh-huh. Someone is saying that is the end. The husband just got rid of her in a nice way. She won't be able to go back to Poland. They just got played. You can never change your name on your birth certificate in any country. You cannot change your name on other things. I mean, you can change your names on other things, but you can't change your name on the birth certificate in any country. All me, I can't go through such a hassle just to get a man's name. Is it by force? Does my life depend on it? I cannot do that. Can't do such a thing, man. No way. Someone else is saying, also, I'm thinking she went there with a tourist visa, which expired, but now she has to come back and apply for a family unification visa, which is now the right way by the law and system of the country. Someone is saying she got the MZungu baby. She doesn't need to stay there anymore. Furthermore, she's not getting JB kind of views. Someone make a list of reasons why she's going home. Let's revisit this list later when we find out the reason. Someone else is saying most European countries usually you have to stay in your country, get married first, and then you can start. But D did the reverse. Even that Nigerian lady she met, I think the one she met in Germany, I think, told D it was very difficult for her to go to Poland because she was required to remain in her country for 2.5 years or 3 years. D was supposed to get married in Kenya first and remain there whilst the Polish are processing and checking if D is not a criminal or does she have any offense. Also, if D was not paying the taxes on YouTube revenue, it's going to be very difficult. Why did she change her on 6 months temporary stay? Hmm? Why did she change her on 6 months temporary stay? She was D is delusional. There is also a test she's supposed to pass. She thought she was clever. So many people have spoken here. This okay. This was she at this that she is doing is dry begging. She did this when she was asking the subscriber what should she do with the car, but they did not respond how she expected by offering her money. What happened to the car? Mat needs urgent adoption. The little dog is suffering and she dare say that the dog is living a luxurious condition. I didn't like that. The real work is only starting now and it's not cheap. Marriage certificate better to translate and apostilled in Polski. Then other documents change. Surname Kenya in Kenya. She's lying. What she has to do is show us the papers from Poland what she needs to do. She could look into the camera. Someone is saying married for passport. If authorities suspect the marriage isn't genuine, it can raise legal concerns. Poland has strict law around marriage and citizenship to prevent. Poland has strict laws around marriage and citizenship to prevent fraud, openly discussing the advantages of strong passport and implying that the marriage may be a means to require one. It might attract the attention of authorities who monitor social media for sign potential fraud. The husband is very outspoken, but he is smart not to say nothing about passport on social media. I hope She didn't marry community. She didn't marry community of goods. This guy is very smart. If she wants to divorce after 5 years, it will cost her half of her assets. It takes 3 years to get citizenship if marriage lasted. If you have permanent residence in Poland for at least 2 years, you must have language skills. And after you apply for your passport, primitive thinking that when you marry, you get your passport. It is a process. Matt came in the picture when her husband was planning to come to meet her. She had to show she's also a dog lover. In the village, dogs just roaming around, not much attention is given to dogs. In the village, she and her brother have to stop putting sensitive things on YouTube. One thing I can agree with Roshio is not putting everything on YouTube. YouTube never forgets, as I always said. That person said something really good, really, really good. Someone else is saying D is on the run. The jigger is up. They found out that this marriage is a marriage of convenience and she's talking a whole bunch of bullshit. And Polish government gave her a certain time to get the hell out of the country. That's why she's running so fast. Okay. Someone else is saying, it's not true. You change your name on application for citizenship once all is done in the same country you got married. On the application they ask, do you want to change your name upon citizenship? Check yes and put maiden name, the name change to the name you want to be. We all did not go back home to change things. And in USA, if you overstay visa and get married, you don't have to leave. You just apply for change of status on another application to become permanent residents on road or to citizenship. And this requires proof of working, proof of tangible contributions, paying income taxes, and staying together and contributing, learning history. And by the way, no one can marry before a certain time in a few months in that country. No one can marry before a certain time in few months in such. One thing for someone is saying one thing for sure, they never researches anything. That is true. That is true. Aye. Someone else is saying, I think what happens is that Peter said he would film he Peter said he would film with her and I guess he told his family and they said, well, she can't live with us. You have to put her in the village where she could live in the village house and now she's tired of being the farmer's wife. She's not truly accepted by them. Believe me, when she put them on camera, they are being paid. Okay. Why is she required to change her name? I thought Poland was part of Europe. It's quite common for each spouse to remain their own family name. She looks very depressed in that video and she is ignoring it. She deserves an elder Mzungu that one will just make fun of her. It seems she is her own immigration officer. The strongest European passports are France, Germany, Italy, and Spain. Please, no one can get a citizenship in 1 year. Or no, you have lived in 1 year, or no, you have lived and worked there. You can only get resident permit. Why do I feel that Dee really didn't get married, but maybe her passport is up and she needs to leave Poland, so she's using this as an excuse to supposedly come get her papers in order. I just think it's time for her to leave. To leave either he's tired of her or she no longer has the ability to stay in Poland any longer. But I still don't believe she actually married to this man. So let's see what is in the next episode. But I saw her getting married. I saw her signing papers. Wasn't that well? Funny. Can somebody fake that? I saw her getting married. I don't know. Hmm. I can't be bothered to read that. It is so long. Some things people are saying are so long. I don't want to read. A very good question. Why didn't Peter Kita join Dee in her life? Is he trying to distance himself from her talking nonsense on YouTube so he can say he did not know when Polish immigration officers start asking him hard questions about Dee ranting on YouTube about being entitled to a Polish passport because she is struggling in the farmhouse? I don't know about Poland, but this was in the UK. Dee and Pero is supposed to apply for her visa in Kenya as it is her country of residence. Dee resides in Kenya, and as such, that's where her application should be made. This is a process and not a quick fix. I think so. Country of origin. All the complication is because Dee said she is in her 20s and the passport show a different age. Dee must stop talking about her business too much on social media. You don't know who is watching. Certain things you keep to yourself. Her husband is from Poland. He is so quiet. He ain't saying not a word. She entered the country illegally, so she has to go out and come back illegally. She lies too much. Who is going to allow her to come in illegally? Immigration officers are not dumb. If you travel there and within 3 months you get married and applied for citizenship, they will investigate and scrutinize you very well. She should be paying taxes because she is earning money from YouTube since she is living in Poland. If someone snitches on her, she is in a big trouble. That applies to ads, super chats, membership, and sponsorships. Check it out. Congrats, mom worked over 40 years plus as a teacher and should be receiving a reasonable monthly payout from the government. She does not have any small children. Her husband works non-stop on the farm. Davy, the millionaire, lives at home and she also earns from YouTube. Why will Coleman need support from her daughter, who is just starting her own life? Makes no sense. Because she wanted to help her mother. What is wrong with helping her mother? Kenyan people in Poland use the consulate in Italy. Not sure why she has to go to Kenya to change her name, etc. etc. Since there is no Kenyan embassy in Poland. The most powerful passport is United Arab Emirates. No visa needed to travel to Poland. Huh? We don't need visa to travel to Poland. Oh, they are talking about the most powerful. Is it? I don't think so. Mm. Someone tell her to look for immigration attorney as quick as possible. Still, she needs to change her surname or on her passport first, maybe within a certain time for the step. The marriage certificate needs to be translated and apostille before she can proceed with any other paperwork. It is better to change documents in Kenya. It is cheaper than through the embassy. Still, for now, she's on a temp staying title. Schengen visa is for a limited time. They can give you 6 months, multiple entries. So she must go out and come again. That's why she went to Germany. She has to come out again. That's why she is talking for a week or more. Okay. But both Poland and Germany are in the Schengen visa area. My guess would be that she rushes married for 30. But both Poland and Germany are in the Schengen visa area. My guess would be that Shira's marriage was to circumvent the exit requirement. She has to exit. You have to exit, my friend. There is no way out. Hey guys, these people really talk. I talk, 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 talk. Hey! I'm not gonna continue reading that until my eyes are paining. Ah, let me read from you guys. I read from down, going up, and then we end the live. Hey, my eyes are really dry. I thought my bag was here so that I can put some eye drops, but it's in my room. When Dee arrived in the village, there was one picture over the bed of Petro. He didn't have any photos of Dee. Still no wedding pictures hanging in that place. Yeah, maybe it's because it's not their home. Maybe it's not because maybe the place doesn't feel like home. That's why you only hang wedding pictures where it feels like home. My wedding pictures are there in this wall because it feels like home. It is home. So I think that house is they're just there temporarily. It's not their home. So why should they hang wedding pictures? I think the house does not belong to them. So another one is saying D is not saying the truth. The changing her name is not important. That changes change is already in the system. If she will tell you the truth. The tap at their door is already changes. Next month will be very revealing and tough for D. She might decide not. She might decide to disappear because of these reactors are on her neck like crazy. Dee can't sit still. She will come back to Nyabo, then travel without her husband. It costs a lot of money for two to travel. Dee is very naive. I believe that karma is catching up with her. What karma? I don't know. I mean, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in karma. Did she do something wrong? Okay, because she lies. Okay, if she lies, she's just gonna learn her lessons in the setbacks that are gonna happen in her life. It has nothing to do with karma. Lesson learned. If she is clever enough, she's gonna learn. If she's not clever, she's gonna continue making those mistakes. So two of you have already. Immigration wants to see if the couple are really a couple. Doesn't have to be. wedding pictures, just travel. Apparently, once you get married, you are meant to exit the country to apply for the proper visa in your home country. So, as it is, she may be staying in Poland illegally. Okay, just tell people, just be open. Don't say my. She usually says my channel is 100% honest. I am 100% saying the truth. I'm 100%. When she says it's 100%, just know she's lying. Just know she's lying. Honestly, like in this one, she is lying. And we are not talking just because we are talking because she's misleading people. Apparently, you are allowed to marry with a Schengen visa in Poland. You just have to bring the necessary documentations, passport and birth certificate, etc. Yeah, I think so. I think so too. You're allowed. But then, how many months is she allowed to stay in Poland? Schengen visa is for 90 days or 180 days, right? Then you have to exit. But that is what she doesn't want people to know. A Schengen visa, the point of entry should be your longest stay. I don't believe she stayed in Spain for more than 90 days before she went to Poland. She could, uh-huh, that could be the point of the problem. But you will never know. You guys are just gonna figure out. But we figured out because we are not stupid. Jane Joroga is saying you need to watch these people. They are one big movie. Absolutely. The guy can come with her if she wants to. If the guy wants to. At this point, maybe if the guy is still on with the shenanigans. I knew at some point D was to get to this point because the reality. I can't wait to watch their next video. It's so exciting, guys. Guys, I'm going to log off. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you on my next live, probably the day after tomorrow. Be tuned in, maybe on Tuesday. I'm gonna make a live on Tuesday. Tune in and thank you so much for being here. Bye.